Can the Bengals take down Urban Meyer, Trevor Lawrence, and the Jaguars in prime time? Hi again, everyone. I'm James Rapien with allbengals.com and Cincinnati Bengals Talk, and that is the question with a huge Thursday night football matchup looming in Cincinnati at Paul Brown Stadium on Thursday night. And look, I know it. I'm 0 for 3 on predictions this year. We'll see if I can get in the win column. The Jaguars looking to get in the win columm this week. They're 0-3 as well. And, well, the Bengals, they're trying to get to 3-1 for the first time in the Zach Taylor era and win back-to-back games for just the second time since he became head coach in 2019. So let's dive into this matchup. I'm going to give you 3 keys, and I'm going to give you my prediction for Thursday night's game. The first key, it's time to unleash Joe Burrow. Let Joe cook. That's right. Look, we've seen Burrow and them kind of have training wheels on him. Week 1 against the Vikings, it was off to a slow start, which makes sense. It was his first game back from a torn ACL, MCL, and PCL. Like, he had a crazy, extremely serious, extensive knee reconstruction surgery. And that was his first game, real game, because the preseason really didn't count. He only played 3 snaps. And they played it slow. They played it safe. I got it. Week 2 against Chicago, nothing seemed to go right, and they certainly didn't unleash anything on offense. Week 3, the game script was different, in Pittsburgh, and he was 14 of 18 for $172 and 3 touchdowns. It made sense to go that route. I don't think it's going to make sense this week, and there's a variety of reasons why. One, the Jaguars are good at defending the run, so it's not like you're going to lean on Joe Mixon as much like you did last year. They've only given up 3.6 yards per carry. So Mixon could still have a good day, and I'm not saying don't hand him the ball, but certainly something to pay attention to. Number 2, and this is the part that really the Bengals, they've built their team around this, and they should. That's what you do when you have a quarterback like Joe Burrow. But they want to push the ball down the field. They want to be explosive. They want to have big plays. And while they've had some, right, specifically to Jamar Chase, I think there's so much more meat on the bone. And they haven't completely unleashed QB1. And I think he's ready for it. What we saw in Pittsburgh on Sunday, where he's running, he's moving in the pocket, certainly looked more comfortable out there. I think it's time to let him go for a variety of reasons, which I'll continue to talk about as I get to my keys. But the other part of this is I think this is the Joe Burrow game. This is the game, not, the LSU national championship necessarily, even though he certainly proved plenty of doubters wrong that year when they went 15-0. Not being in the offensive rookie of the year conversation or being the number 1 pick last year. It's this. Urban Meyer is still the guy that did not play Joe Burrow, that picked Dwayne Haskins over Joe Burrow, that continued to leave Joe Burrow on the bench at Ohio State, recruited him, brought him there, did certainly help develop him, as Burrow has said. And by the way, Burrow hasn't said any of this stuff about being motivated, but you can't tell me that he's not wanting to go out there and show Urban Meyer what he can do. That doesn't mean they're not good friends or anything like that. But to me, that chip that you get, right, the same one that Tom Brady talks about when he still, after 7 Super Bowls, talks about how he was a 6th-round draft pick. Some guys don't forget it. I think Joe's one of those guys. I guarantee you he's extremely motivated to just beat up on Urban Meyer's Jacksonville Jaguars team. So that's the first one. Let Joe cook. Key number 1, I think he's ready physically. I think he's ready mentally. He's certainly going to be dialed in. It's a primetime game. You have the home crowd behind you. And the Jags defense with Myles Jack at linebacker is pretty good against the run. Key number 2, fast start. And it goes right in line with key number 1. But I think back to the week 1, week 2 transition. They have that really big win over Minnesota. Home opener, season opener. Joe Burrow's back. The Bengals are 1-0. Nice win over the Vikings, Mike Zimmer, Kirk Cousins and company. And what happens? They lay an egg in Chicago. They don't score in the first half. The offense is abysmal for the first 55 minutes of that game. That can't happen. They need to get off to a fast start. Quick. Score quick. Second play of the game, deep ball to Chase. Play action, downfield strike. And in that part of it, I think matters a lot because you're facing an 0-3 team. And the more the door is open for Trevor Lawrence and company, the easier it's going to be for them to believe that they can pull off the win and pull off the upset, according to the sports books, where the Bengals favored by a touchdown or more, depending on where you look. Key number 3, to me, it's simple. You got to get heat on Trevor Lawrence. As we record this on Wednesday afternoon, still haven't gotten the game status report about Jessie Bates, so not sure if he's going to play yet, not sure if Chidobe Awuzie is going to play. But even if they do play, they're going to be less than 100% on a short week, right? Neck injury, groin injury, those don't just heal overnight. So even if they're out there, the Bengals secondary is going to be depleted a bit and not at where we usually see them at and have seen them at through the first 3 weeks of this year. Mix in that Trey Waynes could be making his debut for the Bengals after missing 19 games last year with the pec, the first 3 this year with the hamstring. And look, there's some question marks in that secondary. So what's the best way to kind of eliminate a Marvin Jones, who's still very capable, DJ Chark, who had a huge game against the Bengals last year at Paul Brown Stadium? You get some heat on the rookie. You make him uncomfortable. You force him into some mistakes. Lawrence, 9 turnovers in 3 games. And yeah, they have a running back as well that you're going to have to contain in James Robinson, Carlos Hyde behind him. It's a pretty good 1-2 punch. So those are the 3 keys. Let Joe cook, fast start, leave no doubt, and put some heat on Trevor Lawrence. I think if they do that, the Bengals are going to be just fine. And I think they can put up huge points. This is going to be the first game this year where the Bengals score 30 plus. And that's where I think they should be most weeks. This should be the standard, that 30-point threshold with the weapons they have, even without Tee Higgins. Auden Tate, Mike Thomas, certainly capable of making big plays. I also think the tight ends are going to get involved more this week. So look for CJ Uzomah to have a bigger role in the passing game than he has over the first 3 games of the season. Outside of the huge catch in overtime against the Vikings, hasn't really been a factor. I think that could change on Thursday night. So my score prediction, as I look for my first correct prediction of the year, I'll take the Bengals scoring 30 plus in prime time for the nation to see. 31-21. Joe shows everybody, including Urban Meyer, that he is the real deal, and he beats Trevor Lawrence in the rematch from the 2020 National Championship game. As always, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the bell so you get alerts for our latest videos here from Cincinnati Bengals Talk. I'll have a pregame video from Paul Brown Stadium on Thursday. Certainly all of your in-game and post-game coverage right here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk and at allbengals.com. Tell all your friends about us. We're growing. We're excited about it. If you're new, welcome. And make sure you hit subscribe. So until Thursday, when the jungle will be under the lights, I'm James Rapien. Thank you so much for watching.